Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we are doing another pre-release Eldritch Moon draft. I got a chance to do a bunch more yesterday, about 12 hours worth. Mausoleum Wanderer, unfortunately, just not really a playable rare in limited. I don't really like it. It's worth about a ticket and a half. On stream, I've been taking cards like this just to basically get back as much, just so I can draft all day. But for the videos, I'll try and take the best card here. I'm a huge fan of Smoldering Werewolf. I think this card's fantastic. I think Noose Constrictor is an excellent Madness Enabler. I think Geist Archives is great. I don't know which card I like the most. I think I'm going to take the Werewolf just because I've tried this card and I thought it was amazing. The fact that it can enter and kill two things, I think, is super relevant. Geist the Archives would have been a fine pick there too. I like that card. I've made one blue-red spells deck so far, and I liked it. It was fun. I hope I can make it again. Maybe this time around I'll get a chance to. We'll see. I think this is a pretty easy bombardment. Really good card, obviously. Cheap removal. I like this Ingenious Scabalot. This card is a very good common. Relevant creature type, prowess, inflatable. Efficient cost. There's like nothing wrong with this card. Everything right. Yeah, let's go bombardment. Okay, bombardment for days. I'm alright with that. They happen to get better in multiples. Narwhal Dryad is good. I like the Sigardian Priest. Yeah, pretty easy bombardment. Let's take it. I like this Extricator. It's a cool card. If you get Delirium, all your 3/5, it has Vigilance. It gives itself its own ability. And then you can sacrifice Not Eldrazi and get Eldrazi. It's a good card. Otherwise, I can continue to cut red by taking Falconwrath Reaver, which I guess I'm fine with. I mean, I don't know if is a fourth pick Extricator a sign. These are things that you have to be a little more familiar with the format to really know. I guess it's a good emerge. Well, you don't really want to sack it though. I'm going to take the Reaver. If I end up at Vampires, I'm going to be happy I have it. And might as well just like cut red. All right, Brazen Wolves is excellent. I have played with this card with and against it a few times, and it puts people away fast. This card is terribly efficient. There's a Prey Upon in here, 5th pick though, which is Prey Upon is really good. Pretty premium removal. I mean, Prey Upon might be a reason. A 5th pick Prey Upon, I would think, is more of a sign than a 4th pick Extricator of Sin. I mean, fight spells are good. Currently, it's not that great in our deck, but if we end up with enough creatures, it's going to be great. Maybe I do take Prey Upon. I love Brazen Wolves, and I want to continue to cut good red cards, but I think one mana removal spell, probably a little bit higher priority. Okay, we could take the Survivalist, which I like. We could take another Reaver. There's also a Woodland Patrol. I think Survivalist is pretty good. It is a 4-drop. Woodland Patrol's whatever. I know for a fact Woodland Patrol is pretty much whatever. It's going to trade with a lot of 2-power creatures, and you're not going to be super happy about it. Reaver is really nothing special outside of the vampire archetype. Let's just take... I could take Abundant Maw, too. I mean, Abundant Maw seems good if you're in black-red. It's probably better than the Survivalist or the... You know what? Let's take this. This is a good emerge card, actually. It's the Black Sea Rhino, right? Well, Certain Death, I mean, it's certainly not... Certainly, what a coincidence. Not a sign that this is a... That black's open just because it's, you know, 7th pick Certain Death. Geez, that's a really late Ingenious Scab, though. Still nobody likes blue. This card is really good. I should just take it. I think it's better than Certain Death. Certain Death's okay. It's just kind of expensive. I'm going to take Ingenious Scab. This card is fantastic. This card is so good. Well, Innkeeper is whatever. Olivia's Dragoon is a good Madness enabler, but we don't have any Madness at the moment. Lunar Force is not good. Desperate Sentry is actually pretty good for Emerge too. I mean, I'm for sure red, so I could take the Innkeeper. Dragoon is going to be better if I end up in black-red. Much better. It's a great Madness enabler. I'm going to take the Great Madness enabler. I don't really care if I have an Innkeeper or not. A Wheeled Bombardment. Okay. Sure. Well, Succumb to Temptation, while not exciting, is playable. So, yeah, we could be black-red still. Black-red vampires. We have two 2-drop vampires so far, and that's it. But Dragoon, like I said, is one of the best ones you can get in common, especially just because a free Madness enabler at common is fantastic. And the fact that it gets evasion from it is very good, too. I don't think Cincia Banquet is very good, but I'm not going to play Wailing Ghoul or Augmentation, I don't think. It could just cut the red card from the pack so we can get more red cards later, because we definitely are red. All right, let's just take the red card, because I don't care about I mean, I don't want to hate a card when I can continue to cut the color that we want. I guess the same rules applies to Make Mischief. I don't think Make Mischief is very good, but I think it's actually certainly sideboardable. Cemetery Recruitment is playable. I'm just going to hack these red cards from these packs and the black cards. I mean, it's good that we're seeing all these red and black cards late. Guess we'll dip out a blue, probably. Dip out a green. Try and focus on black-red. We have like triple Galvanic Bombardment is insane. Eternal Scourge. I've seen this before, too. I don't think it's worth anything. Not worth anything. I think we probably take the Boon of Emrakul, which is a efficient removal spell. I still want Ruthless Disposal to be good, and it might be. I guess I just value cheaper removal more. And Boon is definitely that. There is a cost to Ruthless Disposal. I mean, I'll grant you that it deals with everything. But it does come at a cost. We're going to take Boon over Certain Death as well. I'd rather have cheap removal. Okay, so we have Liliana's Elite, which gets better with more cards in your graveyard. We have Thermo Alchemist, which I like, but I like it less outside of like a spells deck. It's still fine. I mean, we have four spells already that trigger it, and it just pings every turn. Could take the Midnight Scavenger, try and start getting on the Graph Rats plan. Even outside of the Graph Rats plan, the Scavenger it's at worst in a deck like this, it's a pretty good Gravedigger, and I feel like we're going to get some more cheap creatures to work with it, so I think I'm going to take it. I'm trying to think if there's anything insane in here. Not really. So we've got a Vampire in Weirded Vampire, which I probably just take. I like Borrowed Malevolence, but I'd rather have Madness Vampire. Alright, well, looks like we're doing it. Can take the Graph Rats here. Black Goblin Piker at worst, and at best, big win con in Chittering Host. So, yes, we'll take it. Alchemist Greeting is very good. There is another Olivia's Dragoon in here, though, which I do kind of want. like, this is the Madness card you want to enable for with your Dragoon. You want both of these cards really badly. And I don't know which one I want more. I want the removal, but I also want the enabling 2-drop in a relevant creature type for our colors. I think I'm going to take the Madness Enabler. Now, I'm sure there's people that are going to disagree with that, but I've found it easier to get the Madness cards than it is to get the Enablers so far in this format. Whether or not that's true or accurate, I guess remains to be seen. We have to play the format more, but alright, this seems like an easy Reaver. So we have the Vampire cards. We have to get the rewards for choosing Vampire cards. Okay, we can take the Innkeeper now. We could take the Abandoned Reason, which I think is a pretty legitimate combat trick, especially if you can Madness it. But Innkeeper, if we're beating down, I think Innkeeper's actually really good. This one's uncommon though, too. Maybe we do take Abandoned Reason. I mean, we have some good 2-drops. I suspect we can get some more. We'll take it. It's uncommon. I haven't gotten to play with or against it yet, but I feel like, how could it be bad? It seems very good. Alright, I think we'll take the Supplicant. If you're ahead on life total, it's a good way to close out a game. And it's a Madness Enabler. Borrowed Hostility. Not great, but playable. It's kind of cool we wield the Alchemist. I totally think it's certainly playable. And even in a deck like this, just pinging all day. Pinging and blocking. I'm not going to play Distemper. I have all the Stincy Banquets, and I'm not going to play any of them. I think maybe I'll hate Mutation, I guess. If I'm not going to play either of these, and I can't completely cut red from that pack, then I guess it seems pointless. And Mutation seems fairly playable. Maybe it's not, but it seems like it's a playable aura. I haven't had anybody play it against me yet. Wolfkin Bond seems like a fairly scary card. The Crossroads Consecrator is definitely good if you have a very human-centric deck. Alright, so I guess we don't have that many vampires, do we? We have a few, though. We have 5. It's not that many. We'll let someone have that. Altered Ego is good. Probably just take the Inner Struggle, I guess. It's a good removal spell. There's no vampire here. We want good white uncommons. Chaplain and Missionaries, and Altered Ego is a very strong card. Maybe we can wield the Dual Shot or the Throttle. Might be wishful thinking, but I like Inner Struggle a lot. It's a great card. Okay, pretty easy Fiery Temper. Burn Face or kill creature for an efficient cost. Definitely good. So we still need, we definitely need some more creatures in here, but our removal is very good. I don't think Traverse is worth much, right? It's about 50 cents. I thought it might have gone up for some deck, but I guess we'll take Sanguinary Mage. We don't have any... I guess Skeleton synergies with Dragoon is not bad, but we still have a chance to get some vampire rewards. If we don't, we might be in a little bit of trouble, but... So, I mean, we still need more actual creatures here. I could take Accomplice, or I could take Revenant. Probably prefer the Accomplice. Get all the 2-drops, and then try and push damage through. Alright. We still need at least a couple more creatures. I love Dance with Devils. This card is very powerful. I like it more than Uncaged Fury. One of the better red uncommons for any deck. So I could play Tormenting Voice. I don't have a ton of Madness cards. I have the Weirded Vampire and the Fiery Temper, and that's it. Oh, I guess the Abandoned Reason too, but that's not very good with the Tormenting Voice. There's a Solitary Hunter in here, which is good. We might end up playing Tormenting Voice. It's an okay card. So Chasm is fine. We could take the Twins. We have some Madness enablers now, so maybe I do want the Twins. Geez, the latest Solitary Hunters I've ever seen. I actually think Chasm would be fine for this deck too. Would I rather run Succumb to Temptation or Tormenting Voice? Probably Tormenting Voice, I guess. Although Succumb is actual card advantage. Tormenting Voice is like basically double rummage. Maybe I don't need this Borrowed Hostility. This card seems whatever. Alright, we'll take the dual shot. There's some matches where this is very, very phenomenal. So I don't think our deck is super strong. We have all the vampires with none of the vampire synergies, and I'm not going to count Stensia Banquet as synergy because we don't want it. We do have finishers. We have a lot of cheap removal. So there's pros to this deck. The cons are a bit scary, though. I'm not going to play Hound of the Farbogs. I'm not going to play Alms of the Vein. Guess we'll take it anyway. This is definitely a 16 land deck. We have 15 creatures if you include the Dance with Devils, which is about the bare minimum you want most of the time. So we have the Graph Rats, Midnight Scavenger, Finisher. We have Abundant Maw. We have Smoldering Werewolf plus Flip. That's about it in terms of big time finisher. I guess we also have push damage through early and then... So Compulsion versus Arsonist. I think we actually want the Arsonist. It's a big finisher, which this deck kind of needs. Because we have all this removal, but a lot of like cheap kind of not impressive creatures. There is a Compulsion, but we're not short on removal. Triple Bombardment, Temper, Struggle, Boon. We have all the removal. And basically, we're just... This is another big-time finisher for us, so I think that's going to be good. All right, Senseless Rage does work with the Dragoons. It's something we could consider. Hulking Devil doesn't really... Not really what I need, I guess, but... All right. So we're getting good playable creatures at the end here, which is actually kind of nice. I don't think Borrowed Hostility is very good, so I don't think we're going to need that. I do kind of want to try out the Abandoned Reason, because I feel like that's probably a pretty good combat trick. So let's figure out what we want to cut here. So we don't want to play the Hostility, I think. Maybe we don't need Tormenting Voice. I could consider Senseless Rage, but we can pretty easily cut creatures here. So we probably don't need Hulking Devil. If you don't have Chasm, Devil's not very good. I do want to play all of these. You can kind of count Abundant Maw as a 5-drop. Because we have all these 2-drops. So I'm fine with that too. We have no Delirium, right? So Wicker Witch is whatever. We could even cut one more creature. We don't have any vampire synergies, so I'm kind of okay cutting the Sanguinary Mage. It's pretty much whatever anyway. We'll keep the card draw of Succumb to Temptation, I think. But yeah, I mean, Sanguinary Mage is good with combat tricks, which I guess we have like Abandoned Reason, Senseless Rage, but... Like I said, we don't have any vampire synergies in here. Basically, I just wanted to play Senseless Rage for the Dragoons. Discard it, give it flying, make it a 4/4. It puts a big target on its back, but... It turns little guys into big finishers. Maybe I just have better things going on. I don't have to worry about Senseless Rage. It's probably true. There's a lot of removal in this format now. It feels like. I mean, Bombardment alone is pretty premium one-drop removal. So this deck looks okay. Our removal is like the best part of this deck because got a lot of good, cheap, efficient one. Creatures, the curve is fine. Our finishers are fine. There's just nothing really bomby about this deck. There's nothing super premium. Although this Abundant Maw might be pretty good. So we'll have to see how well this 6/4 Drain 3 plays. And we have some decent sideboard options, I guess. If we play against the X1 deck, we get to bring in Dual Shot and Make Mischief, which are good actual sideboard cards against those decks. They can really change the outcome of a game. Other than that, yeah, curve is good. So we'll try it like this. Mana, could probably just do an even split. We need both colors early, so we'll do that. All right, yeah. Can't really give this deck a hugely high letter grade, but I suspect just based on the removal alone, we're in C territory. So I'll give this deck a C, and we'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1.